And then I'll edit right before I start the introduction.
Yeah. Is it okay to have this here?
Yeah, of course. I'll even leave this here.
Make a commercial for Coca-Cola. We're getting sponsors here.
Awesome.
Brazil.
Yeah, we're gonna get them also.
Yeah.
Okay. Got my pen over here. Sounds good, and we're gonna start right now.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Sure,
okay.
Sure.
So, hi everyone. This is. I want to try one more time. Can you see here?
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
Yeah.
It's still in.
Yeah.
With me.
Yeah. Are you good? You're doing this in English? You're gonna.
I'm gonna do it in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll transcribe, and then someone in Brazil, and then translate it and put the subtitles.
Gotcha.
That's good.
Good?
That's perfect, yeah.
Okay.
I'll move a little bit closer just so that I can't hold my
Yeah.
head moves on it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Good.
Okay, so hi everyone, this is Arnaud Morales. I'm here for Capitalist 2.5, our show recorded at the Kaufman Foundation, produced at Google Fiber. And today we have for our interview Gary Schoeniger. Gary Schoeniger is the CEO and founder of the Entrepreneurial Learning Initiative, ELI, author of this awesome book, Who Owns the Ice House? And he was recently in Brazil for the Global Entrepreneurship Congress in Rio de Janeiro, where world thought leaders came to learn from him, learn from his program. And his program was also, his entrepreneurial learning program was recently featured at a United Nations conference. Is that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So Gary, thank you very much. Muito obrigado for being with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Arnabio.
Thank you for being here. So Gary, one of the things that I find really interesting about the work you're doing is that you created this unique approach to entrepreneurship and to teaching it.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about how it works?
Yeah. I'd be happy to. So the fundamental premise that allowed us to do this is that I've always looked at entrepreneurship through this lens of empowerment. So I fundamentally believe that the desire to be entrepreneurial resides in most human beings. We all want our ideas to matter. We all want to be engaged in life. We all want to be solving problems. And we all want the hope for something better. This resides in most human beings. So that's sort of the perspective that I'm coming from, that everybody wants this. Many people who are capable of it are not participating in it because they don't really understand it. It's been mischaracterized. It's fraught with myth and misunderstanding. So this is part of what we're trying to resolve.
I understand.
Yeah. Ordinary people are capable of being entrepreneurial.
I understand. That's really interesting, and I really like that because sometimes, the media portrays entrepreneurs as like these mythical beings.
Yes.
It seems like away from reality.
Yes.
But it's actually a very real thing, and most people have the capability of being. And that's what you're working on, right?
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly it. So, we all understand the importance of nurturing and supporting entrepreneurship at all levels of our society. Right? Everybody understands it. Policymakers, educators, thought leaders, and community stakeholders understand this. The problem is that we spent much of the last 100 years studying how large corporations work, and we essentially ignored entrepreneurs. So the result is today entrepreneurs are the engines driving our economy. We really don't understand it all that well.
I see.
And this lack of understanding inhibits our ability to reach this broad range of people.
I see.
Right? So what do I mean when I say, this lack of understanding? Generally speaking, Arnobio, what we see is just narrow definition.
Okay.
So for one example, one narrow definition of the entrepreneur, as you described, is the mythical figure, the Silicon Valley technology entrepreneur comes up with an idea that's game-changing, world-changing idea, instant millionaire, billionaire, and sort of, you know, the Mark Zuckerberg Facebook kind of stories. And we see those stories and we think that's entrepreneurship. And a lot of what we're teaching in universities is sort of modeling after this, what I call plan and pitch.
I see.
Come up with an idea with obvious potential, you know, write a business plan, pitch to an investor, and try to get some funding, right? Well, the problem is this method only works for a very tiny fraction of our population.
I see.
It's almost like lottery. It's very few businesses actually start this way, so it does not accurately represent the real entrepreneur story.
I see. So you're working on like the real life entrepreneur, the grassroots thing,
Correct.
the guy starting.
Correct. Which is a much more compelling story.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? When you see how ordinary people improve their lives, do amazing things by embracing sort of an entrepreneurial mindset. All of a sudden, you know, you're wondering, how does somebody who has nothing, who has no advantage over anyone else in their community, manage to succeed?
I see.
How do they do that?
I see.
This is the big mystery that we've solved. It's not magical DNA. It's not privilege. It's not luck, like lightning strikes one day and all of a sudden you got an idea and now you're rich. It's really, there is this, the underlying story, the real story of entrepreneurs is very compelling. And it's something anyone can do.
It is. It is very motivating, very inspiring.
Yes.
And so here's a thing that I think it's awesome about the work you and Eli are doing.
Yes.
I think you guys really nailed the mindset.
Yes.
You know, like what's the mindset of an entrepreneur? And you nailed not only what it is, which is a big accomplishment by itself, but you figure out how to teach it.
Yes.
And it's been working very well, and people are coming from all over the world to learn from you.
Yes.
It's been presented at the United Nations recently.
Yes.
You tour around the world teaching about it.
Yes.
What is it all about? So can you tell us a little bit about this mindset, how it works?
Yeah, and first, you know, Arnobia, what I wanted to say is we've consciously, we worked with the Cisco Entrepreneur Institute several years ago in San Jose, and part of the work we did for Cisco was to analyze, to do a gap analysis on the entrepreneurship education ecosystem.
Okay.
Okay? And what we saw were these narrow definitions. And sort of narrowly define entrepreneurship within this realm of business creation.
Okay.
Right? And we said there's something missing here.
Okay.
This is where we decided there's nothing really about the mindset. And so we decided that when we defined the mindset, we looked at the definition.
So the mindset, what was lacking? Mindset was lacking in
Yes.
entrepreneur education.
Yes.
Okay. I see.
There was more of a mechanical approach without the mindset part of it. Right?
Okay.
And if you don't, you know, you can understand the mechanics,
Okay.
but if you don't understand the mindset, the mechanical things will be much more difficult,
So it's like
much more prone to fail.
So it's teaching like the mechanics and the technical side of it to people who are not ready yet to get there, and
Correct.
they don't even feel like it yet.
What we've seen, Arnobio, is that if someone understands the mindset,
Okay.
they'll figure out the mechanics.
Oh yeah.
But if they got the mechanics and not the mindset, it's very difficult. They struggle and tend to flounder.
I see.
Right? But there's another aspect, and there's another very good reason why we focus on the mindset. So, you know, it's very difficult to come up with a formula for success as an entrepreneur. It's not like you want to become a nurse or a doctor or a school teacher. You follow these steps, you get a certificate, you're now a teacher or a doctor or a nurse. It's not so in entrepreneurship. Success, the prescribed path is not formulaic.
Okay.
Too many variables, very, you know, if you want to open a software company and I want to open a restaurant, you know, we can't follow the same path. But what we discovered through our research, which involved hundreds and hundreds of hours of on-camera interview with everyday entrepreneurs, what we extracted from all these stories is a common logic. Underneath all of these stories, there were a few fundamental concepts that kept rising to the top.
Okay.
So this is what we're calling these mindset concepts. It's a logic.
Ah, okay. So you're talking about the really the core dynamics behind it, like the very foundation of
The very foundation.
I see.
So mindset is a big word. What does it mean? It means the beliefs and the assumptions that drive the behavior of the entrepreneur.
Okay.
Right? So you want to open a software company, I want to open a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
The logic is common. The fundamental logic applies to all.
I see.
Also, by focusing on mindset,
Mm-hmm.
we can now engage a very broad range of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can benefit from this way of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
this fundamental logic of entrepreneurial thinking.
I see.
So that is and has been and continues to be the focus of our work
Mm-hmm.
and the programs we create.
I see.
We're developing entrepreneurship education curriculums for academic and institutional partners now all over the world that are part mindset, part process. And our programs are really designed to explain and show how an ordinary person without access to venture capital, with an idea that's not going to get venture capital funding, how those people succeed.
I see.
So it's part mindset, part process.
I see. So the program is really focusing on what beliefs and assumptions you need to be an entrepreneur, and then the tools, almost like the technical tools, the process of it.
Yeah, some of the process for the early stage.
I see.
How to identify and validate an opportunity.
Okay.
So one of the things that we did in order to create our curriculum is sort of redefine entrepreneurship. And there's all kinds of definitions for the
Mhm.
word entrepreneur,
Mhm.
entrepreneurship. You know, the word conjures different image for different people. They don't
Mhm.
really understand. So we wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
And there are lots of business terms, you know, the utilization of pursuit of opportunity without regard for, resources. And these tend to be clunky
Mm-hmm.
definitions that an average person won't really.
I see.
When we looked at all the research, we said entrepreneurship is simply the opportunity discovery process.
Okay.
Once an opportunity has been discovered, and what I mean by discovered, I mean by identified and validated.
Okay.
People are buying
Mm-hmm.
what it is you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's more of a managerial mindset that
Okay,
takes place,
I see.
right? The entrepreneurial mindset. So the skills that are required to identify and evaluate an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
are different from the skills and the mindset that are required to grow that opportunity into a business.
I see.
And that's part of the work we've done. We've uncoupled entrepreneurial process from the managerial process.
Oh, okay. That's something that you talk about that I find it really interesting, that you made a distinction between
Yes.
management and entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about this difference?
Yeah. So this is a key piece of our work, is that uncoupling, that making that distinction,
Mhm.
as you said. So when we looked at research of entrepreneurial startups,
Mm-hmm.
what we discovered was even the largest, most established companies have humble, improvised origins.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.